This is the community activist here in Warren County, Rodney Rebel, Rod Hamm on Facebook. If you would, for me, contact Greg Landsman, our congressman, and he is at greg.landsman@cincinnati.oh.gov and help push this campaign. It's a campaign called U.S. for Hope. I've contacted members of the community all over the country about trying to bring an awareness in community through advertisements, through pamphlets, and through education at events or social gatherings. A great place to start it would be high school, football games, baseball games, basketball games, plays, and so on. U.S. for Hope can teach our kids how to work together by providing plans and marketing. The community challenge issues are best resolved by helping our disadvantaged members to become better prepared to face addiction, assault, suicide, mental health, hunger, homelessness, isolation, and to defuse these hate groups. We can ask churches and schools to provide networks in volunteers and internships to teach others the right way for them, instead of neglecting to deal with them. Teaching English to our new citizens can help us learn a new language, planning a road to better approach issues in marketing that can take the place of classes students are not excelling in. Extra time for church members doing projects on how to allow flaws and misconceptions in people, yet still seek them for conversations to learn instead of teach. Our difference makers will allow a person the respect to explain why they are comfortable with the issue. If they are staying the same, then we need to let them know that we are happy and we still wish to continue in our relationship to learn more from them. By joining a cause close to us, for me, that's ALS, we may be able to spend the time that we spent on our negative coping skills on something that will take us down a more productive path. Be you, be honest, build faith, and find love and peace. How to become involved? Plan to join U.S. for Hope. Pick a project, pick a cause, and then create signs, documents, locations, and delegate these tasks, and then have health professionals, counselors, volunteers, and church members show up to support our volunteers from our churches and schools. Complete these tasks and then follow up with new, more specific steps to take in your battle against your issue. I would like for there to be more awareness on the survivors out there of all of the problems that we face today in America's families, to provide hope in campaigns to raise awareness about citizenship, strength, and these United States of America by fighting against intolerance, fighting against lack of education, and fighting against being unaware of what's going on in your community. I would like to see this proposed in new stadiums or old stadiums for football, soccer, baseball, lacrosse, and help all of our communities in the process. I've attached a book called Bridge of Hope. You can print it and you can have book drives, you can sell it, you can put it on the counters at stores to raise money, or just to raise awareness about the importance of love, time, family, and communication. All these things were taught to me on a It's All About Hope Facebook page by a man who I hold in very high regard, who worked in Miami-Dade County for the Coast Guard and also was a detective who did a number of amazing things in his life, including go to school and graduate from the University of Louisville. He's an amazing person. Check it out if you can. 8 Steps for ALS also has his story and some other stories about families of survivors. My stadium proposal is inspired by these survivors. So what we need to do is learn how to cure it. To do that, we need to allocate the resources and revenue. We need to build programs for these families. And we need to heal each other by watching how they love each other through their tragedies. I know one thing. I love you. So let's read as a family and hope together. Skyline Chili could be placed in the corners, and we could call them the ALS Cool Zones. Opposite corners of every stadium, there would be a place for families with younger kids to go, learn, and have some fun. Arcade style with the cool zones and advertising geared towards community goals, being specific to your demographic. Taxpayers are getting back more than the bill for supporting these endeavors. We will be able to look the taxpayer in the eye and tell them, number one, we're getting more money for our schools by being able to be out here teaching after the allotted time. Number two, we're building awareness for things like autism, ADHD, mental health, anxiety, suicide, depression, and battling hate groups. These are messages of how we can attain help and positive ways to cope in our ALS family fun zones. They're family friendly. They have a hometown theme for cheap food and cheap refreshments. They have games and marketing. They have ice bucket challenges and other ways to raise monies for research in these areas. They promote growth. They promote anti-bullying, anti-drugs, anti-neglect. Wi-Fi memberships and advertising with things like big pop donations can help us to raise more awareness and spread the word and help people to get food, clothes, school supplies, medical supplies, the correct insurance packages. We can post notes from survivors, tell them about things like It's All About Hope on Facebook. We can call out to our church members to volunteer in their community and to participate more in the betterment of the Mothers of Mercy 3.2 Act and trying to participate in helping our struggling Americans, especially our children whose parents may or may not have work, may or may not have a disease, and need their help. So, go now to redcross.org. Go now to als.org and make a pledge, financial pledge. Make something happen. Greg Lansman, I am glad that we have you in Warren County. I'm glad that you came out in your inauguration and said that you are going to spend more time in Warren County to address some of the issues here in Waynesville, Ohio. I think it's a great plan. I think Charlie Sanders and his family deserve the recognition.